Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I had really good timing on that one.
Yeah, I was. Everything is off, Jeremy.
It's okay.
Everything is off.
It's
2 weeks of vacay,
And not
of
to run.
a little fun in the sun. You can't tell in this lighting, but I actually got some sun.
Yeah.
I look healthy for a little bit in person right now. And it's not a fake tan. It is real because I had a chance to make some sandcastles again. Probably racked out about 3 or 4 decent sized ones. Kept me busy for hours out there in the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, man.
But you've been away. I know you got a chance to hit up Axial Fest.
Yep.
That is fantastic.
That was a good
I'm
time.
I can't wait to hear all about that. And the other thing we get to hear all about is from our special guest tonight, uh, John Sullivan. Uh, I want to call the guy the trailer king. I feel like he gets I feel like he gets the king after that.
Okay. We can
I'm
do that. I've seen his work.
I
It's royalty.
Well, no, I do. I have your exact wording written down.
Oh no.
Your exact words were he is an artist. They are his trailers are art. But that transfers over to his builds also. I think across the board, the guy has kind of got this Bob Ross in him. He is an artiste. So it will be exciting. The Hawk Tui. If you haven't caught this reel, the Hawk 2 of
You'd have to be living
this
under a
under
rock
you seriously.
without doing that.
So it's freaking genius what he pulled off. So um, we are also messaging right now as I'm talking to you. I'm emailing with Jake from not Jake from State Farm, but Jake from the Goat Farm. We'll bring Jake in here to recap with the boys from RCEC and Crawler Colt and the rest of the crew we're doing up there at Farm Fest, raising money for the Goat Farm.
Goat farm.
And I know we got a ton to talk about towards the end of the show with Knights. James has been on fire, doing it right with the optic, making the optic even better. So we'll be getting them ready in time for the Recon G6 to go back in time for a little 80s flashback. I am so freaking stoked for a themed Recon G6 event that I can get behind. I mean, we're going back to the 80s. This old man likes to go back to the 80s.
I can remember most of the 80s.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Well,
Most of
I'm
them.
I'm a younger old man, so I know the 80s were filled with cocaine and partying and all kinds of disco. Not for me. No, I was a little too young for it.
A little too young for that.
I'm just saying the older bracket in those 80s, if I'd have another 10 years on me, I would have probably been at the Club 54 in New York or at the Viper Room in LA. There was a party scene in the 80s, and I'm too young to remember all of that, but I do remember the 80s, and I love the fact that Parker's putting some kind of a theme together again for the Recon. I know they like to put a lot of attention on the fix, and you're not going to get away from that. But for the people that do not participate in the 12-hour grind, give us a theme. Give us something to get behind and put a smile on our face.
You should totally do like Mr. T or something. You just do a mohawk. Do the low slung mohawk from the 80s. You can pull it off, man. You got the goatee. You got it all going on.
Don't you dare. I got 2 weeks to go. I can sit here and grow hair quick.
You can do it.
I can do it. All right. All right. Let's give ourselves an official intro, and we're gonna make some room for our homie John Sullivan. And as people come in, I'm gonna do the same thing as John's doing his intro, and get back over into some of these chat rooms and start sharing this out to let people know we are up and live right now. So I'll slide back in and share it around the groups I can find. But we'll do that during the intro of Sullivan, as he starts saying his hellos. In the meantime, let's give us an official intro. We set the hook. Stay till the end. You won't want to miss all the stuff at the end, because there's a lot of other little things we didn't touch on that I know are going to come up at some point. So, a lot, yeah. This might be a vetted kind of night where I'm going to really let it out. All right.
Ground control, we're loaded and ready to taxi.
Flight 209er, you are cleared for takeoff.
So close.
Why am I
so close? So close.
Wrong guy.
I tried.
That guy.
I tried.
There you go.
Tried. It's a little bit more than a 50-50 shot. I know. I always try it. I don't get to see the screen behind it. I have to just kind of throw us up there. I cross my fingers. Am I going to get it right? And I never do.
That's okay.
But we've got Jonathan Sullivan sitting center stage. How are you, John Sullivan?
Doing good. How you guys been?
Very well, thank you. Now, AKA, you go by Sully, right?
Yep.
Sully is, you're recognizable.
Yep.
People have nicknamed you Sully, but you also
Amongst
have a
other
fun
things.
little, amongst other things. We won't get into the list of the behind the scenes things that Trevor Rushford. I'm sure Trevor has a laundry list of things that he calls you. 873, is that correct? 873 SS trailer. 873, does it have anything to do with Southern Lehigh, Coopersburg? Is it anything to do with a local area code?
Nope. It originally started with the build number of my Camaro SS, and as I got into RCs, that kind of went by the wayside, and I just never bothered to change it.
Well, it's right. You did have or do you still have it? You got a badass Camaro.
Yeah, 97 30th anniversary SS.
Oh,
so
very freaking cool.
Stress reliever.
You need that Sunday Fun Day car.
Yeah,
you need that little something to blow off steam. We had, I know Jeremy still has his crotch rocket, and I had my street bike for a Sunday stroll to just go out and cruise once in a while. Like you said, go blow off some steam.
Don't insult my Ducati by calling it a crotch rocket.
Yeah.
It's the
fine
better
Italian piece of machinery.
Yeah.
It truly is a like Lamborghini of motorcycles. Ducati is that next tier. You have to show respect. So slap me across the mouth. My bad. I've got Jake from State Farm sitting in the green room, so we'll let him sit tight. I kicked off with an 873 because you are local to us here on the East Coast.
Yep.
Honestly, 15, I can almost throw a rock up in the air and hit you. It's that kind of coolness to have you that close. So will you happen to be joining us at Blue Rocks this year by any chance?
I don't think. I got a bunch of stuff on the calendar already, getting kind of full. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to make that one.
I know you've often brought the big ass camper and set up with your kids.
Yep.
Brought the dog and made a weekend out of it. Then you've come up for the day trip once in a while just to pop up and hang out. But yes, it would definitely be cool if you could find a day to sneak up and
Yeah, we'll have to see.
hang
We'll
out.
have to see. But currently, the Fast House is still sitting under covers for the year. I've just been backlogged.
Un-
So, yep.
we're definitely going to unpack your day job, your other activities as a ski patrol. There's
Yep.
all the trailer work. You are a fun guest with a lot to unpack, and we're going to get to it. But there is sort of a reason we wanted to bring Jake back here, because that is somewhere that you just were. Won some hardware for your 14th scale
Yeah.
trailer. So there were a lot of dots to connect to really push Jake to come here and hang out with us. So let me do this. We're gonna take John off the big screen, and we're gonna make room for 4 of us here. So let me do this. We'll add Jake to this. Well, you know what, John, we're going to put you on the back burner for a second. Jake, I hope you're decent, buddy. I didn't mean to just drop in there like that on you. Hopefully you're ready. I should have given you a little warning.
Just came right in. Let's do an audio check. Last time we tried this, we had a little audio issue. How are we tonight?
We did. Jake, you sound great, homie. You sound great. We were a little late getting here. I was late in sending you the invite. I was late getting everything set up here tonight. So whatever. We're just going to chalk it up as a Saturday night misfit show.
You're right on time.
I was going to say, Mike, I'm one of those guys too. You sometimes just got to wing it, and I might be a couple minutes late, but it's going to be a good time when we get there.
Exactly. So the goat farm, Jake's goat farm, was what the fundraiser was for. The event was all about the goats, but it brought a decent turnout. Brought the RCEC crew in. Your homie Sully here brought home some hardware and you boys broke the internet with the reel with the Hawk Tui. So freaking creative. What a freaking genius idea to put that on the back end.
Sully had about probably 24 to 48 hours from the time that whole thing started going viral till he was rolling out to Farm Fest. I mean, this guy pulled this magic out of his hat like it was nothing. So when it showed up there, it was one of those things that just hit your funny bone. Everybody could relate to it. Everybody had fun with it.
I can't lay claim. I can't lay claim 100% to that. I think it was Nick actually had thrown that up in our RCEC chat. Said something about, because I was finding space on the trailers to put my Instagram tag, and he says, "Oh my God, you got to cash in on this. You got to do that." So the next morning, here I am at the ass crack of dawn with a cup of coffee and the vinyl cutter, making logos, cutting them out for the trailers, and putting them on there quick.
I love it.
That's awesome.
But that's some of the best ideas. I mean, I can't even take credit for 9 out of 10 of them. They've all funneled from Jeremy, or somebody has always, hey, you should do this. And it's like, oh, or that's what it's about. It's inspiring other people to try something, or tipping off them that, hey, this ain't going to work for me, but you should do this.
That's something I definitely picked up along the way in the hobby, man, is we are all inspired by each other in different ways. You know, we pick up tips and tricks from each other. You see things. Sometimes you go through a creative lull, and then you'll come across somebody or something that just hits you and inspires you to get building again and stuff. So that's what the community is all about. And that's, for me, one of the reasons why we wanted to get the event going, was just a way for us here on the East Coast to have a place for those of us that like to focus on the scale aspect of things, to be able to come together and hang out with each other and have a good time, man. And that's really what it's all about. The farm is a beautiful place that we're more than happy to share with our friends and family. And I look at the RC community as that. It is literally just a big extended family. Sully, when he came, and the whole RC 4-wheel drive crew, just had a great time. It was like we've been hanging out forever. So, that's what we're looking forward to doing more of.
I definitely want to give you an opportunity to plug this fall, because you'll be inviting everybody back, correct? In October?
That's it. That's it. We do have another one coming up. It's yep, that's a trail day, October 19th.
19th. Okay.
And again, that is here in Assonet, Massachusetts. So we're on the south shore of Massachusetts. About 5 hours from the Jersey area, New York City, Vermont, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, obviously. We got some other friends coming from a little bit further across in the country too. We had some friends come down from Canada this year, and so they're looking forward to making a return trip. So we're hoping to put on a good enough of a display and making our trails worthy enough for folks that are going to travel to come to the farm and make it worth their time. And so that's really what we're looking to do, man.
I have a local guy, Richard Kroon, good cat. I know he and I had been talking now for the last 2 or 3 months. We're definitely going to make the day trip. Well, it's a one-day event that you're hosting. We'll come up the day before, but we're definitely coming in October. Hopefully I'll get a chance to bring Dreamer along, and a few other people. We'll recruit them and get up there in October. I definitely am excited to get up there and hang out with you all and check out this goat farm. My wife is going to be super jealous. She might actually want to tag along for this one to go wrestle with them goats for a little bit.
I know my wife would.
You encourage honestly, that too. Mike, so if you're not
part of what we're looking to do,
is get the family involved, and if they're not going to
do is have an event. Yep. We
I think it's a great idea.
To be involved. We want the kids to be involved, and yeah, we want if you want to spend a day with the wife, bring her along, and there's enough things to do and look at and have fun at. If it's not the goats, it's the activities and the trails. But we want this to be a family thing, so that it's not just us guys saying, hey dear, I'm going to take off for the day or for the weekend, whatever it is. We really want to embrace it, make it a family activity.
I love it. Hey, the message is great. The camaraderie, the family atmosphere of you guys inviting everyone up to come out and support each other. You all need people putting wind in the sail, fanning the flame, and cheering each other on and supporting one another. And that's the vibe that you guys are putting out, and I love it.
Amen. And thank you to everybody like yourself, Sully, that came out to the farm, brought all your trucks. It's not easy to do all that and make all the arrangements to get all that kind of stuff done. And we appreciated the turnout. We hope everybody had a good time. We miss you, Mike. Hope you had a great birthday, man, with the family and everything. But you were definitely in our thoughts for sure. Great time with Dreamer. He put on a great representation. The sponsors were amazing. Carry All and all the other sponsors, RC 4-wheel drive. Just amazing output of support from the companies for the RC community, and can't say thank you enough to everybody. So thank you for the time tonight, Mike. I can't wait to hear more about what's going on with John and
awesome.
The trailers, man. The trailer that John made for the event was something to behold.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Jake, thank you again so much. We will definitely keep in touch, homie. That there is whoa! I almost my bad. I clicked him right back in. I did not mean to do that. Good thing he was decent. That was a double tap on the mouse button. Yeah, solid guy. I mean, Jake, you just got to freaking put your arms around that one. Yeah, I love him. Good guy.
That was first time up there to the farm, and they put on a hell of an event. It was a lot of fun, a lot of vendors up there. The scale trail was really good. Some really talented builders up there with some stuff around. Just really great place to wheel. Unfortunately, I won't be back up in October. A week before that, I'm getting married, so it kind of puts a little damper on the calendar. I don't want to go running out right away.
Yeah,
Right.
You'll give it a minute.
Be at the courthouse the next month in divorce court.
Get past the annulment phase. Time frame there.
Yeah.
Let the honeymoon happen. Well, that is exactly what we were hoping to hear from you, John. I was really sure that, it was going to be good feedback. But I'm sure the weather was not pleasant. I know it had to be hot and humid.
It was hot. We had some rain and stuff come through. Luckily, it was mostly at night. Little spritz here and there on Saturday, but it could have been a lot worse, and it was actually fairly decent for what we had weather-wise, so we lucked out.
Yeah, we pulled all the heat to Indiana for you.
Yeah, because the exact same time we had the goat farm going, the people were out at the Badlands.
Yeah.
So was it as hot in Indiana?
Brother, I've been to a lot of places on the face of this earth, and that was one of the worst. It had to be
really
100 degrees, 90% humidity, and wind with rocks in it. So
wow.
I had a tan, and then I had dermal abrasion done, and now I'm
sandblasted.
It's all gone. Yeah, I was sandblasted inside of an oven with a water. So it was hot. It was fun as heck, but it was hot. As soon as you got into the woods, probably lost 20 degrees.
Now
we jacked up another 10%.
Did you stay at a hotel? Were you able to at least get a shower at the end of the day, or were you camping?
No, I was really roughing it. We had a cabin on site, full bathroom, shower, kitchen. I was really roughing it this time. Yeah.
But a place with air conditioning.
Yeah, there's definitely air conditioning. I was about 5 feet from the air conditioning. I had a great roommate. The cabins on site at Badlands are fantastic. They're like brand new. It's like brand new housing.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that's roughing it for me. So I'm a little bougie.
We've been in some rough cabins at some of these campgrounds that they smell like a boys' locker room in 7th grade. Like it's you walk in.
There's been a few where the indoor plumbing, I just used the outside. I just dug a hole. It was much more sanitary than what was inside. So those cabins out there in Indiana are fantastic. If you can get them on site, they book fast, but they're well worth it.
Well, that's awesome. Now, John, we're going to do a segment of the show here in a little bit called This and That, and that's going to take a little lighter side or softer side of look at you and get a laugh, I'm sure. Right. But before we get to that, can we get a little deeper look into you? What is it that can you disclose what you do for your daily job?
Yeah, I teach high school level carpentry at a local vocational technical school. So pretty much 9th through 12th grade.
You got all 10?
I still got all 10. Wait,
wow.
There they are.
You're a good teacher.
So yeah, hard to believe a shop teacher still got all 10 fingers.
Mine didn't.
Yeah, most don't. That's funny.
Yeah.
So you are doing real man's work, educating the future generations. I love it. But that's where the dot connects very quickly back to the artist in you crafting these wooden trailers that you've started out slowly, and this snowballed. This has snowballed into, you donating them, sponsoring events, but the quality and the artistry in them has gone to the next level. Maybe there's a couple of reasons why. The 3D printing, the vinyl cricket cutter. There's several things that you can throw at these now to throw those cosmetic scale little extras to give them that little extra.
Yep. Give them that little nudge.
Yeah. graphing that, yeah, I mean, you've done cool logos on the top deck, the fenders. So how long have you been doing these trailers?
Let me think. It's
10?
probably almost 10. I think it's 9
Yep.
years. First one I did was in my old house on the basement floor with literally a hacksaw, drill, and a screw gun, just to see if I can. And I ended up making one. Trevor liked it, made one for Trevor. A couple other people started wanting them, and just said to hell with it. Let's start building them. So set up an Instagram page, set up a Facebook page, started getting rolling that way, and getting some of these out there. The flatbed, drive-on style car trailers. Came up with a couple different gooseneck styles and started doing a few enclosed ones now. I've got a monstrosity coming up for one of our guys, Cody. 2-car enclosed for the back of a modified TRX 6 or something he's got it to pull with, and keep your eyes open.
Wow.
It's gonna shake some things up.
Wow. Now that's very cool, because you hit on like every aspect of the hobby. You're doing drift, you're doing 14th scale construction. Yep. Did the tractor trailers fall under construction? Is that fair enough?
I mean, you can kind of say they generally lump them, the semis and construction equipment together.
It gets okay. But you're dumping some money into those. Not you personally. I'm not calling you out and trying to get you. I'm not trying to call off the wedding here. I'm not saying you. That end of the hobby is not cheap. It is.
None of it's cheap.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. But the 14th scale tractor trailer stuff is next level. Yeah. And you guys showed up at the goat farm. I mean, you guys came. Kevin Sims, I know, is another one that brings his. Was he the one with the what would you call it? More of the concrete? Was it doing something with the Jersey barriers or something? Was that his?
He had some of the, I think they were the red and white Jersey barriers set up down there. I don't know if he had any of the concrete ones. I know I had made a wood form. I made a wood form for Mike Dimmick a few years ago, and he did, I think it was like a silicone base form, and then he started pouring them with actual cement.
Was banging these out, and then he turned them into trophies and came up with really cool ways to utilize
them. Yeah, we were
them.
running them around our rally course for barriers in the turns and stuff like that.
So do you get a chance to play with your drift car anywhere locally, indoors, or is it pretty much sliding around?
Parking lot.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I would love for us to get something a little bit closer that we could. I mean, there's I guess you could say that anywhere around the country. Everybody's screaming for their little spot on the corner, I'm sure. Right. But the whole drift side is phenomenal. But the leaf spring, from the leaf spring world and your RC 4-wheel drive stuff, I had a chance to slide through your Instagram, and you have been a busy man.
Little bit. I have 8 or 9 leaf chassis. I've got probably a little over a dozen different bodies that I kind of rotate through them. I'd like to offload some of the rigs I don't run much and pick up some more leaf sprung chassis for the rest of it. As you can see them over this shoulder, sitting up here on the shelf. I've got a few there I want to get some extra chassis for and get those all back into running rigs, so to say. But yeah, leaf life, it's definitely got me hooked. It's a whole different style of driving, whole different mentality, and hell of a lot more fun.
Yeah, you were always a big supporter of the leaf side, and I learned a lot from you in the early days of taking photographs and watching how you were positioning your truck and getting it in the right spot for the right camera angle. And you need somebody like that to learn from, to understand, well, how are they holding the camera? Like, how are they? Oh, he's actually on his belly. He's actually laying down. That's how you have to do it. You got to get your hands in the dirt.
Yep. You got to get that forced perspective, so to say, to make it look like you're down at that level.
I was scrolling through some of my older photos, and I have a couple of you like in the prone position laid out. Like, I'm like, those are the ones that are priceless.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you have been RC four-wheel drive, RCEC forever and a day. So there.
Yeah, RCEC I've been with since day one. RC four-wheel drive just got me on a couple of weeks ago. I'd probably say about a month and a half, 2 months ago. They, filled out a form probably a year or so back, an application to get in, and finally got my ticket pulled, so to say, and
well deserved.
Do what we can do to promote the hobby and RC four-wheel drive. So
yeah, and congratulations on that. It's not an easy group to get in with.
Yeah.
And
no.
I did see that they just opened it up again.
Yes.
Accepting applications. So
if on my Facebook, I shared the link for the application. So they're looking not just stateside, but pretty much worldwide. So
fantastic.
Yep.
That is good stuff.
No, I'll tell you, I ran RC four-wheel drive leaf springs for a long time. But I got me some boom racing trucks with leaf springs, and I like them.
Yeah.
Not saying one that's better than the other. They're two total different animals.
Yeah.
But if you haven't driven one of those trucks, don't let RC four-wheel drive see you. But you'll have some.
Kyle, don't watch this.
Don't watch this. No, that's the fun of it, though, is the way that they move. The way that they're designed is completely different, yet they both use leaf springs. So it's a unique driving style, and even some of the brazen chassis and stuff like that. Again, a completely different driving style because it's a lightweight chassis.
Mm-hmm.
And our two chassis, the RC four-wheel drive and the boom, they're heavy.
Yeah,
they move different. You can't run a left-hand body on those.
Yeah, I think some of mine are weighing in at 8 to 10, 11 pounds, I think, with batteries. So they're definitely not lightweights.
Yeah, they're chunkies.
Yeah.
Wow. So 2 things. Is there a waiting list to get on board for a trailer?
Right now, yes. I have a few that I've got to get done for some upcoming events. I've got 3 or 4 people that have messaged me looking for them. So I'm about 6 deep right now. And from start to finish, they take about a week and a half to do till I can ship them out. So a little bit of a lead time.
You're running a sweatshop during the school year, I bet. This is what the class projects are in the classroom.
No, it's all done down here in my dungeon.
Yeah. No aluminum TIG shop. No. Gotta make sure that corner's square.
Right. I said quarter inch.
It's a quarter inch.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, so we do have a little waiting list. So if you're not in a hurry, put your name in the list and get in line.
Yeah.
But they can.
I got to get in line because
I'm
going to end up on a trailer event with Trevor, and I ain't got any trailers. So I know I'm going to need one or borrow one at some point.
Yep.
I wanted to get a small one, like a drift style, something that put the drift car up on, a low squatted one. But I mean, I've seen the goosenecks ones that you've done, now these enclosed. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if I'd be able to choose. That's my problem.
No, just make one and send it to me. I'll build a truck around it.
Yeah, I can do it that way. Just a surprise.
What do you got on sale and in stock?
Yeah. So we wanted to know the waiting list. Oh, I know. The next question was, what is on your workbench right now? What is waking John Sullivan up every morning and inspiring you to get out to the workbench? Is there anything that you can share that you're working on right now?
As I look around here and the anxiety overwhelms me again from all the different projects.
I feel you.
I mean,
I guess it's never just one thing, right?
No.
We're always multitasking, and something always happens to derail us. Like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, I need to wait for the mail to bring this, or got to get that, and well, we'll put this over here. Let's start on this. So you have a couple of projects like most going on right now. Anything like super cool that you're like? What is on the bucket list that you're excited to check off?
I've got a Brooder man plastic toy cab sitting on an SCX-10 chassis that I'm going to turn into a Dakar rally style truck. I'm going to styrene build the back end of it.
Whoa.
That's sitting over here in front of me on the bench. I've got a Hercules flatbed trailer that I picked up that is in the process now. I got stuff on the print bed for it to turn it into a lowboy semi trailer. I have one that I did. This second version actually has the detachable neck and flip up third axle, so a little bit bigger, a little more complex. So I've got Cody's monstrosity 2-car enclosed trailer sitting over here. I just finished up a second XV01 rally car so that the kid and I each have one now to play demo derby with when we go to rallies. But it's like you said, I mean, it's a hodgepodge of this, that, the other thing. You know, as I'm waiting for parts to come off the printer, I'll start cutting pieces for trailers and start stocking material up and just bounce around and keep moving.
So when you're not building RC cars, you're doing a lot in the wintertime. The winter is your time of year because you love to play in the snow. You love to head up to the mountains and ski or snowboard.
Snowboard.
Or both.
I started out skiing, haven't skied in a couple of years. Pretty much been focused all on snowboarding, but.
And you do some volunteer or work for them as a instructor?
It started out as a volunteer. Our mountain got bought out by a larger corporation, which is now we've been paid for the past 6+ years, I think it is now, as a patroller up at Jack Frost in the Poconos. So this year was my 25th year doing that. So been a few years.
Knowing your history with playing in the snow like you did, when I saw that you got that Blizzard plow with the tracks, I was like, holy crap, this thing is like made for you. I'm glad you did that.
That was a bucket list purchase that's been on the back burner. And this one came up from Mike's Auto Parts up in Vermont, and he had a deal on it that I just couldn't say no. So crack open the wallet, blow out some of the dust, shell out my money. You know how it goes.
No, I know.
I love my Blizzard.
Yeah, they're fun.
They are fun.
Yeah. So this one's got the plow. It's got the tiller, pretty much set up. So.
Yeah, I've been.
I think I was gonna go. I was gonna go the direction with the tracks with this Blizzard, but that V plow came along. I think we were. Did you, John? Did you go to Nest? Do you remember the Northeast Scale? Was it the Northeast Scale shootout? Did you make it to that?
Was that at Plainfield, the fairgrounds?
I think it was because they had the tractor pull across the way. Yeah.
Yep, the kid and I came up for a day.
So that's where I met Rick Perry, who was making these V plows. Now he was just pushing his V plows around in the dirt at the time. But as soon as I saw that V plow, I'm like, oh, that might be the direction I'm going to play in the snow. Not to say that there's not always room for something else in the stable. I would probably, if the right deal came along, a blizzard would happen.
Yeah. I think the right deal just came along for you, Mike.
Oh, let me show you.
You mean
There
one?
it is.
Oh, wow. Look at that. So those look like some power shift RC lights on there.
Yep.
That's not that you took the Rick Perry plow to the next level with that light kit.
Yeah. I still it's here. It's 90% ready to go. I just got to figure out which chassis I really want to run it on. And like we were talking earlier, I want to do a mini version of my new Silverado, which I have a Fisher V plow on. So it just would make sense to put it on that one.
No kidding. Well, yeah, you I think you answered. You know what direction you're going.
Yep.
I can hear that Chevy rusting now. I don't even know if they have metal in them anymore.
The doors, tailgate, hood, I believe, are all aluminum. The rest is still steel, but yeah.
That is freaking awesome. How many kids do you have? Is it just a boy and a girl? Is that right?
Yep, just two. One boy, one girl. 2 dogs.
And they've got to be getting up there in age also. Like my kids, they age quick. They're not.
Yeah, they're 17 and 19, and they definitely
no kidding
grow like weeds. It goes quick.
It does. But yeah, I remember when the little ones were little yet.
Yep. Now,
but yeah, my daughter's getting ready to go to Kutztown.
Yeah, my daughter's in. She just finished up her first year of college. My son is almost as tall as me. Probably will be there by the end of summer. And he's doing an auto tech program over at the Votech, which is cool. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's almost what, 6'10"? How tall? You're a tall boy. I saw some of them photos of you, and I'm like, gosh, darn.
Right. As Trevor says, the giraffe. No, I'm 6'2". 6'2", so yep. Kind of gangly.
You wear it well. You're a big 6'2", I'll tell you. You know what it is? It's just a lot of short people around you all the time. That's
right.
That's what...
Right.
Sure thing, Gulliver.
It's the Quakertown water down here. I know it stuns our growth. Well, John. Jeremy, do you have any thoughts, words of questions for him? I'm going to pull up this and that while you...
I have all kinds of thoughts.
Go ahead.
Probably none are appropriate, but it's, yeah, I definitely got to get on a list for a trailer. I got to get off my duff and do that. I've been meaning to do it, and I know I only get up to run with you guys up in the Northeast, once. Maybe I got there once this year, so I'm hoping I can get up there before winter's kicking in. But yeah, I got to do it. I got to have
ledge stock's coming up in August, so we got 4 or 5 days worth of RCing. So
yeah, I have this problem. Not really a problem, kind of a conundrum. Like, do I go to vacation in Jamaica or do I go to RC events? So I really like being married. It's whatever she tells me.
I hear you.
We're all
Well,
sometimes the decisions make themselves.
They kind of do.
Yeah. I'm not going to knock our annual trip to the Jersey Shore every year. Does it land in a very crappy time? It does. But as my parents get older and older, I'm at that moment in my life where we're not going to say no to family. We'll make the memories now while we can.
Yep.
I'll regret it later. So the RC will always be there. So we'll come back to that later and enjoy the family time now. And the kids, they keep getting older. All these memories are changing. The whole life goes quick. So when you get these trailers, there is a probably a list of options that we're looking at now, because you've got the marker side lights, you've got the scale accessories to add it. So you've got your, is it a la carte? Is that how you're handling this with people?
So
Just keep chipping away, or do you have a standard price?
pretty much the base trailer is one of the, the most prevalent one is the off-road model, which is what I call it. It has the 155 wheels, the 155 all-terrain style tires. It will come with the 3D printed trailer jack, a 3D printed toolbox, obviously your wheels and tires, the rear ramps. Lights are an upgrade if you want to do the lights, obviously, because I got to spend a little more for the LEDs and the wiring and a little bit of extra time. You can get them in raw aluminum, or you can get them painted in, various colors. And then, like we said, I'll do the logos on the deck depending how intricate they are. Like I did the Farm Fest one. Unfortunately, at the size that it was cut, I couldn't include, the truck on the rocks up in the top corner. It just got too muddied in the outlines of when it would go to cut it. So we just did the lettering on it and left it at that.
That's where it pays to have a simple logo also for those single color iron vinyl cutouts. You need to have that simple logo. You've been dabbling with your logo a little bit. I saw you put a couple, like 3 or 4 different options. Did you decide on which one you were going with, or are you just going to keep you? Because I stole one of them out of the survey. They're like, choose one of these, and I just took one.
I think it was the third one that was on there.
Okay.
There was there were.
It was a clear tie between 2 and 3, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out which one was more, but both they were all cool. Who did them? Was that through a service?
There was I can't think of his Instagram tag right now. Bush Crawlers or something. He was out of Australia.
Okay.
I'll find that and send it to you. So if you want to link him, I would absolutely like it if you would, tag him and get him along, and, I'll add him in there when I share this broadcast as well, so that he gets 100% recognition for it. So, but really cool, really cool.
I like that he gave a couple of options. That was if he's gonna toy around with your logo and show you some ideas.
And the rough sketches I gave him were rough sketches, and he just knocked it out of the park with what he came up with and sent back.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. Because I've been seeing some Instagram posts with some disgruntled people that were looking at some graphics people looking to do some cartoon artwork and different things. And so to hear good feedback, and it sounds like this isn't a bot and it's a real person. So that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you can work it out with you how far you want to take this trailer. Jeremy, perk up, listen up, get your laundry list of ideas of things that you want to add to it. Because I know the side marker lights and all that stuff is a must.
Yeah. I had done, I think it was about a year and a half ago, I did a trailer for a guy that wanted to pull. It was like 2 SCX6s behind his X-Max. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, just go down to Tractor Supply. It'll be cheaper. Get yourself a utility trailer.
Yeah.
But, he insisted he wanted this, built him this monstrosity and shipped it out. So, I mean, that was next to this 2-car enclosed. That was probably the biggest trailer I've built to date so far. The gooseneck style actually stemmed from a project that I was asked to do for a scale version of the Joker mega truck from up in New England. He wanted a trailer to replicate the one that he had to pull. I kind of threw some ideas around, searched some pictures up on the internet, and lo and behold, another trailer to sell. So...
Fantastic. The pipeline continues, and that's how it happens.
Yeah.
Well, that is fantastic, John. Yes, we will do everything on our back end here to make sure we get in the comments the links to your Instagram page. It sounds like that's where you're communicating and working through all this. I will get you some vector files, some easy things to work on with no rush. We'll just, put it on the back burner there. One day we can come around to it and get a trailer done up. We'll work that out later and
I see
get on the list.
Jake's comment down here. Make that 7 deep.
7. Yeah.
So he and I have a deal worked out. So
perfect. I love it. All right. So we're going to take a pause here, John. We're going to do a little fun little segment of the show where we're going to throw 2 options at you, this and that, and we don't need an explanation. We don't need you to explain. It's just rapid fire. Jeremy in the background is keeping score. He will throw the whistle and challenges if you do anything wrong. Jeremy, you keeping track of these every week? Who's winning and losing?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And you collect, if you do win, John, you do collect your prizes from Jeremy.
Okay.
Yeah. Checks in the mail.
So we make this all official. We had Scale Audio Solutions help us out with a little official Jeopardy music. Thank you, Scale Audio Solutions. Speaking of that, are you one of those guys, John, that rocks the audio? Are you walking around with Bluetooth speakers in those super scale trucks of yours?
Nope. It's funny. I have all 3 of those, and all 3 of them run off of just 3-channel pistol grip radios.
My man.
I don't have a degree from NASA to understand all those switches, so I don't run them.
Your street cred just went way up with Jeremy. He's not a fan of any of that audio stuff.
Yeah,
he's hearing the music. Mike, turn that off.
I got one of the Red Cat lowriders, and trying to work the switches on that, my hands cramped, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so nice and simple. We start out with call or text.
Text.
All right.
Faster.
Faster. It's me. We're not starting the time clock until I get up and rolling. Almond Joy or Mounds Bar.
Mounds.
F Sorka or Sorka.
F Sorka.
Go to a bar or go to church.
Bar.
Okay, I did these questions when I was hungry, so bear with me. Twix or Snickers?
Twix.
Rattle can or airbrush?
Rattle can.
Autobot or Decepticon?
Both.
Both. I love it.
Acceptable.
Are you a rust bucket or chrome it out? Bling.
A mix.
Mix. Okay.
Mix.
Christmas or Halloween?
Halloween.
Pizza or Chinese food?
Pizza.
PlayStation, Xbox?
PlayStation.
Would you murder it out or Candy Apple Red?
Murder. Cabbage
Patch Kids or Garbage Pail Kids?
Garbage Pail Kids, by far.
Slot machines or blackjack?
Slots.
Lexan or hard body?
Hard body.
Burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
Jeep or truck?
Truck.
Jack it up or slam it?
Jacked up.
Here's the one for the wife. Win the lottery or meet your soulmate?
She got both already. She won the lottery with her soulmate.
Good move, Cotton.
Right back at me. Hunting or fishing?
Both.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Action movie or comedy?
Comedy.
Cat or dog?
Dogs.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
Samsung or iPhone?
iPhone.
College football or NFL?
Can I opt neither?
No, yeah, you
Yes,
can. You can. We will pull the plug. We'll go neither. Golf or frisbee golf? And this might be
Golf.
another neither.
Golf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's see. I better speed this up. Heavy metal or country music?
Both.
Both. Would you rather meet yourself 10 years in the future or go back 10 years in the past?
Oof. I'd say 10 years in the future.
UFO or Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Air guitar or air drums?
Drums.
Wine or beer?
Neither.
Boom, boom, boom. 3-day weekend. Do you want Mondays or Fridays?
Mondays.
BMX or skateboard?
Skateboard.
Supercross or MotoGP?
MotoGP.
Boom, boom, boom. Crocs or flip-flops?
Neither.
I made up.
I forgot I did this one. O.J. Simpson, guilty or not? I forgot I did.
That did not age well.
I did not. All right. We're coming to the end. Monster trucks or NASCAR?
Monster trucks.
X Games or Olympics?
X Games.
Would you rather see a double backflip or a front flip?
Front flip.
Bingo. Call it. Let's pause the Jeopardy music. You won and survived your round of this and that. Thank you for playing with us.
So the
was
judges
fun.
have a question, clarification.
Okay.
So when you asked about pizza,
Yep. Or
Was
Chinese.
did your answer, was it pizza or pizza?
Pizza.
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 So how many T's are in pizza?
All of them.
Okay. So
Are you
It's
Where
like both of them. BOAFM.
Both
Both
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
You gotta have both of them.
all y'all?
Right.
Gotcha. And we had
Is this a-
discussion about this at work, and somebody stormed out of the room mad because I asked them how many T's were in pizza. That's how I know you're from the Northeast.
yeah, I
Yep.
Anyway,
we get it. Was it water or water? I get it all the time. Tomato,
Water.
tomato.
Right. Right.
that's a
Got it.
total Pennsylvania North thing. Yeah.
We got, yeah, and you get my dad and his Pennsylvania touch talking. Oh, it's a treat.
Yeah.
Ask you for a hammer, you bring back a seamstress, and they're like, "It's not what I asked for. It's for a hammer." Oh, hammer. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. So, John, I need to know public appearances. Where would they next find you? Is it Shred the Ledge? Was that your disclosure?
Well, like I said, I was just down at Farm Fest.
Yep.
End of July, I'm gonna try to hit cost controlled rally over in Jersey. Ray Murray seems to do a pretty badass rally scene out there. I'm gonna try to take a trip over and do one of the stage rallies at the end of the month. After that, it's gonna be focusing on ledge stock.
Cool.
And I know that that's a grind. That's 3-4 days there on site.
Thursday,
But
Friday,
everybody
Saturday. Yeah.
and Mad Mike
Yep.
Dimmick, hopefully he's coming back, because this cat brings some of the coolest sponsored donation prize giveaway. He really gets busy.
Yeah.
He doesn't do as much work as he used to back in the day, but he still has continued to devote time, money, labor of love into some of these cool things that he brings, either for your Scale City, because Trevor's taken the whole Scale City thing to the next level, and you guys tap. If you're thinking about going to this ledge stock, you guys are hitting on all cylinders, from drag racing to.
So we've got our regular, 110 scale off-road courses. I believe they'll be doing the New England Trophy Series, the Nets, super scaled out stuff that Trevor does. We're doing
monster
dirt drags, monster trucks, rallies, gassers, rock bouncers under the lights. It's just it's pretty much everything you can think of. We try to squeeze it all in a couple of days up there.
Trevor's not a guy to sit around, so he is constantly, onto this and do that, and so that's an event. You pack up the fleet and you bring the entire fleet. You're going to find a place to use something that you have.
I always love that event because it literally empties out my shop and I can clean it before I bring everything back.
I love it.
That's always a good time then.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. We had that chance. Jeremy and I, we headed out on the west side of Pennsylvania to RC Attic, to Ryan Kornmentzer's house, where he did a small gathering in his yard and out in, it's a big yard.
It's a forest.
But we were able to cycle through so many different platforms. It was one of those, let's run this for a couple of hours. Okay, next guy's calling out the next truck for a couple of hours. It was just very cool to run through a variety of them in a day, cycling through 6 different rigs. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And it's hard to find events like that. There's not many events that allow that many platforms.
You think about the space you need. You definitely need some real estate to set all that stuff up. And Field and Forest up in New Hampshire has plenty of space for us, and been kind enough to let us be there for the past couple of years and run the events there. And it's by far probably my most favorite place on the East Coast to wheel. He's just got unbelievable terrain up there.
And it's a shame the guys from the West Coast don't come over, because I
know anybody can run sandpaper rocks, but you got to come out east here and run some of this slimy, sloppy, wet moss covered crap. And
Yep. I mean, you understand what slate is, and what some of our rock that just is slippery for no reason other than to be slippery.
Right. Right.
Soapstone, we got it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Velcro rock that they're spoiled with driving. Half the time they're driving upside down and peeling their truck off. It's a whole other experience that they would enjoy here.
Yeah, and that's again another on my bucket list, is to get out west. I definitely want to get out west and enjoy some West Coast wheeling and run the rigs out there.
Yeah, go into the Nevada, Utah area, and you can drive. Like, to them, they're like, oh my gosh, it's like 4 hours away. For us, it's like, it's only 4 hours.
Right. I think I'm like 7.5 with the trailer, 7.5, 8 up to New Hampshire. So
you forget how big California is, and I would see California wildfires one morning on Good Morning America. Oh, California is ablaze, wildfire. I would always check in with Paul Wilhite from Proline. Hey, hope you're all right. He's like, Mike, that's literally 12 hours away.
Right.
I thought it was in California. It is, but We're the entire West Coast. But speaking of that, I do want to get Desmond Mooney back on here because I want to let him share some stories, all the stuff that he's been doing out in Moab with his 1-to-1 rig. I thought it would be really fun to hear some campfire stories and listen to what him and Mother Earth have been up to. You know, he's been busy the last year, so I'm excited to get him back on here. And
we can trap him at Blue Rocks.
We're going to hold him down. Put the camera in his face.
I'm not holding him down.
No, all right. We'll trap him. Okay. Your idea of trapping and mine is way different.
Way different. I do military trapping.
Listen, John Sullivan, Sully, I cannot thank you enough for spending your valuable time on a Saturday evening hanging out with us. I hope that somebody out there has learned where to find their next pull behind trailer. Please go check out 873 SS. 2 S's? Did I get that right?
873 SS _ trailers, or my main is 873 SS.
Okay.
So, yep.
So we will also have that in the comments, a direct link right to go find him if you're not, and if you, like Jeremy said earlier, you've got to be living under a rock if you have not seen what Mr. Sullivan has done in the last week with Farm Fest, breaking the internet with the Hot Tui reel. And I love how you know, not taking credit and letting other people inspire and share ideas. I think some of the best work that I've done has been for other people. We did something for Dreamer and his driver in his Blazer. He had a bag of Doritos, you know, Crawler Colt and the scale stuff that he makes. Well, it looks like the driver's digging in this bag of Doritos. I literally took a bag of Doritos, crunched up the Doritos, took the Dorito powder and dipped it like in the fingers of the scale action. Like, I've never put that kind of love into something for myself, but it's doing something for someone else and giving somebody else some ideas and helping each other. That's really the whole message, is cheer people on, help your friends out.
You know, and it's there were some rigs up there at Farm Fest that just absolutely amazing detail on things. You know, I look at mine and I'm like, they look pretty good. And other people are like, dude, these things are fantastic. And I look at others and I'm like, mine looks like crap compared to those. But it's just, I love seeing other people's ideas as well and seeing what they come up with and just pushing and pushing and pushing. More and more scale, little details, little items. One of the Blazers I shared, the guy actually had the lock pops on the door inside. I mean, just.
I think that was J-Team, wasn't it? That was J-Team, I think, is who that was. That Blazer was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The engine bay and.
Yeah.
I love seeing all of that.
Knocked it out of the park.
But listen, if you cannot appreciate what other people are doing, like, this isn't for you. Like, come on, like, stop trying to pat yourself on the back. Appreciate what others are doing, and hopefully it inspires you to get up and try something new.
You have to understand, those people didn't start there. Like, it's been a slow burn for them to get to that level where they've seen it somewhere else and to include it into theirs, for then someone else to see it. Yeah, and that I love that slow burn of the hobby and the learning and doing.
It's the old saying: are they ever really finished? No.
Yeah, they're never.
Right.
I just stripped down the globe liner, painted the axles, and painted the frame on it this week. Put it all back together. Why? I don't know. I'm an idiot. So,
because they're never finished.
Nope.
That is the perfect way to end this. John, again, I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, guys. It's great to be on.
Pleasure. Yep. Absolutely. We'll be in touch.
All right.
Definitely.
We
will be in touch. Wow. What a good dude. What a good dude. Hang on. Calm down. Calm down.
Get all nervous.
Jeremy, look what I You want to talk about what Mr. Sullivan just had said about the evolution of scale continuing to get better, and that's even changing in the world of what you can purchase. Yes, you can 3D print and make all this cool stuff, but now you can go and buy the world's smallest almost everything. This just arrived, and now because I saw it on the boardwalk when we were in Ocean City, I got to see some of the world's smallest stuff. The one thing that I wanted to come home with, they did not have it, so I had to come home and order it. Dude, this is the world's smallest Nerf gun.
Oh, nice.
Little tiny Nerf, and supposedly in the video it actually shoots. I haven't even had a chance to open this thing up. Now they do like 3 different versions of these Nerf guns. What will we use it for? Who the heck knows? Well, I'll throw it in the back of one of these trucks and just leave it back there, I'm sure.
We'll just hook a servo up to it and shoot
it. Let it spin around on a turret. And then you'll appreciate this as a segment rolls into what James Knight has been doing with the optic, and what was the other one that we were just printing files for? It wasn't the optic. It was, the CJ.
Yeah.
So stumbled across the sneakers. Nike.
Oh, nice.
These were typical keychain style sneakers with real laces. Like they got little tiny shoelaces. I am literally trying to figure out.
Somebody's got a shrink. That's crazy.
I mean, they're a little big for 10th scale, but
maybe
for
if you, just small.
Yeah, big feet, big socks, big shoes, big socks is what they say.
Yeah.
But if you just want to throw them even in the back seat of a car,
just throw them in the bed of a pickup or something. Throw them over a power line on a scale trail.
Exactly, on a scale course. I mean, this is next level scale. I mean, these things are ridiculous keychains.
Did you pick up like 600 or 700 sets? Where'd you find them?
These were on the boardwalk. $13 each, or 2 for $25. So
about $200 to drive out there.
Seriously, yeah. But very cool. So I went on Amazon before I purchased them, to be the cheapskate that I am. I'm like, let me bounce over to Amazon real quick, see if I can order them. See if I can order them any cheaper than the boardwalk pricing. I'm not going to be a sucker. Well, couldn't even find them in this level of detail. These were that different. They're unique. I'm not saying they're hand painted or anything. You just have to take a deeper dive. So very, very cool. Point being, the scale world continues to go our direction. Those cool little dollhouse accessories, and Crawler Colt continuing to expand his portfolio of scale stuff that he makes. It's very cool. I'm excited.
Ooh,
I'm excited.
They got little Crocs.
There you. Yeah, it was a little blinding. There you go. Bingo.
Oh well.
Oh, we know what a fan of Crocs you are.
Inkart.
Bing. See?
Yeah.
Last week we had.
They got the little shoes on there, but yeah, you're right. They don't have that much detail.
Correct.
Without being super stupid expensive.
These had actual laces on them. The ones, when I got home and looked a little closer, one's a gray lace and the other one's a white lace. Mm-hmm. They're not exact, but hell, close enough. Point being, the scale scene continues to grow. Very cool stuff. Cool. It's finding those fun little things like that to dabble with and throw in a garage. If you're decorating your Bobby RC garage, or putting them in one of your super scale boom racing BRXs, you've got to have that next level of scale. Now, look how cool your BRX is.
I got to find some Army boots.
Army boots, but in the right scale. I've had plenty of Army boots in the oversized Barbie scale, like. What is that? A 6 scale size Barbie doll. I found plenty of like Army boots in that scale, but you're
Yep.
talking BRX, super scale, boom scale. You want that hard body 10th
Good.
scale on the button.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, yeah. Way cool. Way cool. Did you print your optic interior?
Okay. Okay. Almost. I ran, dude, with your bamboo, how you have to realize now, here's a little difference. You came into 3D printing and went full tilt with this bamboo. You weren't rolling. How many rolls of filament did you think you went through with your old printer? Did you ever burn through even a roll of filament with your previous printers?
No. Nowhere near a roll.
No. And so when you start printing with a bamboo or one of these new ultra fast printers, you better have at least one roll on standby. Like that is the lesson that I am learning, because last night I went idle and I'm like, crap. So luckily I did get Amazon to overnight one. I ordered it last night, like around 8 o'clock, and it was here today by like noontime. So it was not horrible, but that doesn't always happen. There are times where I'm waiting 2 days, where you're waiting and waiting. So I'm not 100% done. I am very close. The one that I've been screwed up on is the steering wheel. My steering wheel keeps getting knocked off the support. Boom! Why did you have that in your hand?
They're sitting here. I just
did you have any trouble with your steering wheel at all? I don't know if
none,
I'm
sir.
about.
None,
all right, none.
I've printed this 3 times now. And,
wow.
I use the same plate layout every time.
Okay.
Use the pie textured plate, and everything is basically at a 45 or however James oriented it. And it's absolutely insanely perfect every single time. I haven't had one knock off. Knock on wood.
Nope.
Haven't had one pop up.
Nope. I had a hand knock off. And that was something that we were talking about before the show started with John Sullivan, was the level of detail. There, thank you. Continue to hold that hand up there and wave for a second. Like the fingers and the detail of that hand. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculously detailed. And pull the actual main part of the optic, the base, we'll call it. So the wrinkles and the detail of the buckles, and I mean, the more I look at that thing, that is a sexy filament. What is that? Carbon PLA of some sort? It's like a real matte finish.
Yeah, this is carbon PLA gray. Bamboo,
carbon PLA.
All the
dude.
Holes for all the servos.
Yep. What did he recommend? Is it two servos? Is 2?
That's 4 servos.
One for this.
In that pan. What? 4 servos. You have
what? 2 heads.
2 heads. You have the shifter servo and you have the steering servo. Yeah.
Luckily, you have a friend in. Luckily, you know a guy in the servo world.
So, actually, micro 55s, if you're using reefs, always use reefs. But micro 55s are a lower cost, but 4 of them in that interior is still, it's a lot of money for what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
I did it as a show thing at Axial Fest.
Okay.
In it. It's a lot of money, to be honest.
So is this where you would
forever? They're waterproof. They're all that stuff. But yeah.
But wink. This is a time that you could almost go to Temu and browse around for a small. Or here, I would
5-pack of aileron servos on Amazon for like $6.
Yep. Or
I mean,
or you have upgraded your SCX24 at some point with a Reefs or a Shift servo, micro servo, and guess what? You've got the old micro servo that you took from that platform. I probably have 8 of those little micros laying around.
these little bad boys.
Yeah.
As you can see, most of my micro servos have a big blister on the side where they burned up.
Wow.
I don't always just replace brand new stuff with brand new stuff. So
sometimes they bubble up and die.
Yeah. Like these, these are okay because they have a very short pigtail. These are like from the big Rose and Capras or whatever. But they burn up really easy. And you got to really watch your voltages, especially running this many servos.
Right.
You get one little spike in there, man. Those servos they're let the expensive smoke out.
Do you think are we making some sort of a Y harness of some sort to bundle these all together, or?
So I have like the shifting servo for the shifting arm.
Yep.
If you can see, he actually shifts. So like that one I have mixed in with the my rock race mode off of my castle speed control. So when I go into rock race mode, he'll shift. And for the heads, I just glued these in. I wasn't there yet, but the heads, I'm working on a rear steer buggy now, so I was going to hook one to each axle and mix them. So if I'm crab steering, they'll look at each other. If I'm opposing, they'll look away from each other. But you can, if you have a mix radio, like you can mix these on other channels. I know they were saying like if they go too slow, one head would turn. If the speed rate was too high, the other head would turn, something like that. But you could, there's a lot you can do with these with mixing, but you got to have a mix radio. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're going to animatronic this to death, make sure you have a decent radio that can do a lot of mixing capability. I know my DX6 rugged can't do it. I can't mix that many channels, so I actually this morning bought a FlySky G7P radio, which is reasonable. It's like $50, 7 channels.
Okay.
You can mix every channel.
What is on that G7P? Is that what screen is on that? Is there a screen?
Digital screen. Yeah.
Is it the
like you gotta love Amazon. I ordered it this morning when I woke up and I got it this afternoon. So it's
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But this the level of electronics that you're going into in the programming, this is that stuff that Sully was talking about that you just don't want to dabble in. This is
once there's a ton of videos on how to mix with these radios. This came out about a year ago with the foam wheel.
Okay.
It was out about a year before that with a plastic wheel, but it's a good, I call it the GP7 because it's a general purpose radio. It's not waterproof or anything like that. You're not going to beat it up. But it's solid. It's got a decent feel to it. It'll do what I want it to do. Because the optic I'm building is way over the top and way too many channels, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out of control.
I was hoping to get my optic here in time for Blue Rocks and get my Freaky Skins wrap on it, and you go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Way excessive, way too much. And this is 4 servos on the truck itself with a VFD twin with front and rear steer. Castle system, and to be able to get it low like this and be able to put that cage back on it was a little bit of a challenge. Like my speed control choice was limited to an X2. The Mamba X, there's no room. With the 7-channel radio, I can actually add a servo winch if I choose to, but I don't think I'm going to need it with all this.
Did you say Micro X2?
Micro X2.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, don't discount that speed control. Run that bad boy
I
on
will.
4S with a 1900 kV slate motor. Loves it.
It's been fun. You know,
Love
I've been running the Mamba Micro for a while, and I probably maxed it poundage. I've probably had it in a heavier pound truck than I should have, and it's been fine.
I run these in a lot of trucks, actually.
And you love them because of the size. That was like you've been able to tuck
4S,
them in places.
Yeah, 4S, they're great. The only real handicap to it is the BEC. So you know, I run waterproof BECs, the 2.0s.
Yep.
And splitters to control where it's going to, and it hasn't let me down. I've run a fix on a micro speed control on a 1900 kV with 4S, literally all day long, and never had an issue with them.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, yeah, to the
excessive.
It is excessive. So will you? Hopefully you'll have it done in time for the recon. Please let us know in the comments anyone that is coming to Blue Rocks, and be ready for the 80s throwback. We would love to see you there. And the other thing we talked about earlier, Jeremy, was in the comments. I wanted to start getting people to check in where they're watching from. So, you know, state, town, let us know where you're watching from. It does help engage East Coast, West Coast, around the world. We'd love to know where you're at.
Yeah, and Glenn's Hobby Life, he said he's done sled pulls with the Micro Crawler X. So
what? That's impressive.
That is. I mean, if you set it up right, it'll work right. So I do have a special truck that it's new to me that I'm bringing to Blue Rocks. So I'll give you a little preview.
Please.
Cab over everything.
Cab over everything.
So there's my van, my adventure van. And it has a full interior with shower, kitchen, dresser, full interior.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm literally working on a teardrop pull behind printed camper with the full, but I don't think it has the working shower nonsense and all of that.
I don't know if the shower.
But you've got you said shower there. It's got like a little bathroom shower.
Yep.
What is that printed?
It is not. It is partially styrene, partially wood, balsa. It's hand done. The dude did a great job.
It's a labor of love. This is a lot of handcrafted.
It's on an Element chassis. Trailing arm suspension, TRX4 axles, portals. I put trail wheels and some Pitbull ATs, PBX ATs on it.
Dude, it looks so clean.
Yeah, it's a little hybrid truck, and I love that kind of stuff. I love a good dash. So
what a find, dude! Yeah. What a find!
It's all flexy. It moves. It does the right things. I want to take it out tomorrow. Run it early in the morning before I go work with the Beetle.
I cannot wait to see this in person at Blue Rocks. That is, you've just piqued my interest for Blue Rocks that much more. That is fan-freaking-tastic.
I won it in a raffle.
I love it. Good for you. You've had good luck.
That's not just what I told my wife. Like I literally, it was on Instagram.
You've been killing it in these raffle wins recently.
We got to pay. You know, some people were like, you shouldn't gamble. Hey, why not?
Because you just did well with the pew pew. You got a fun little.
I did. I got a remote air hole punch. I had a wrap. picked that up today, so it's in possession and fully legal. Remote hole punch, and it's badass. Yeah.
I have never heard that before.
You can say remote hole punch. It's an assault hole punch.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I like
oh, good for you. Good for you. Well, Jeremy, I guess I won't go too much further without ending on the whole team driver nonsense out there in the men in the drama world, continuing to push the envelope and stir things up. But if you've been anywhere near the Trill page, there's been some changes over there. Listen, my input on this is people, we need to just get over ourselves a little bit. And
here's what I'll say. If you're an ambassador, or you aspire to be an ambassador, driver, whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's all the same thing. If you want to choose to represent a company, choose to represent that company, and when you do that, you have to put your identity a little bit behind that. And I say that in two different meanings. So you're putting your name on the line, which means that you better act right. Otherwise, that company's going to drop you like a hot rock, or they shouldn't pick you up in the first place if you have a bad reputation. But if you put your brand, like Addie's RC is I would say a brand. I don't sell T-shirts or anything like that, but I have a YouTube channel, and that YouTube channel is monetized. So I have a brand, but I don't go around with Reefs or Castle and act like Addie's RC. I'm Jeremy Kilburn because that's who they wanted, and that's the reputation that they acquired through contract. So if you do these things, you have to be able to set your persona in the correct format for that brand. The brand should come first. And if you have a problem with that, you should probably rethink being an ambassador. There's a lot that goes with it. There's a lot of responsibility there. There's a lot of work.
I know many of people that aspire to achieve the level of team driver, brand ambassador, whatever you want to call it. But I do warn them every time, just please sleep on it. Make sure that this is right for you. Because it is a responsibility, it's a job, and it's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's so. Yeah, people come, people go. Companies change. I've seen companies dump entire teams and say, "I'm not doing this anymore."
That has happened more than one time. I've seen
it happen
quite a few, many a times. They just do away with it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like,
so
not for me. Changing our marketing strategy, and that's up to the company, and that's the company's allowed to do that. You're not allowed to be mad at a company for changing their marketing strategy. It's just not what happened.
Well, my only advice I would have to anybody out there, and this goes across the board, for anything that you are going to keyboard warrior and put your input on, just remember there's two sides. Wait, Jeremy, I'm sure you can step in here and correct me on this. 3 sides to every story. Yep. And before you go all opinionated and think that you know it all, there is more to every story. And that's my only wisdom that I can input is I promise you there's probably 2 or 3 other versions out there. And make sure you have all the facts before the rumor mills and all this crap snowballs into the crap show that it has turned out to be the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you just don't want to ruin friendships over tiny trucks. Like these tiny trucks.
Seriously, that's
together.
All we're trying to take away from this is, my goodness, at the end of the day, we're all friends and trying to support each other. Do not let friendships and nonsense contaminate our tiny truck fun.
Absolutely. Tiny trucks.
All right, Jeremy. I thank you so much, sir, on a Saturday night. Stick around, Jeremy. Do not go anywhere. I got John and Jake have stuck through till the end. Right. They are in the green room waiting for us. So let me close out. I'll bring us back for a little behind the scenes fun.
Josie Wild, I see you posting and I'm sorry that we just don't get your stuff up on the screen. But I'm watching. I see your posts. I would love to see your dioramas. Reach out to me on my Facebook page or my Instagram page, and please share away. I would love to see them.
Absolutely. I have not heard of this person. Did he put it? And again, I am the one throwing these comments up here, and it is hard for me to follow along. Matt Coacher's here. I've been trying to keep up with everything.
Tig is here. Yeah, there's
J Team. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you all for tuning in. And absolutely, if there is somebody here like Joey that would like to come out and share what you're doing, please let us know. We will always be happy to share an hour with you here on a Saturday night, anytime. That is what this is all about. And yeah, and thank you everyone else for tuning in. We will be back. Jeremy, again, thank you for everything. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely.
Stand by for an official closeout here. Boom, boom, boom. And closing video. We'll think this one's right.